Let me do Weili versus the top 10, or maybe even the top 15 flyweights. So I think she smokes Joanne Wood, smokes Andrea Lee. Karine Silva, that would be a tough fight for Weili because Karine, she's got size, right? She's big, she's got wrestling, so that could be problematic for Zhang Weili. But I think due to Zhang's, experience and her greatness factor and her championship experience alone, she probably find a way to get it done regardless. She smokes Casey O'Neill. Talia Silva is a dangerous fight, but Weili has the wrestling. I think if it's on the feet, Natalia wins, but because Zhang Weili has the wrestling in her back pocket, I think she would go out there and I think she would use that wrestling to her advantage and probably dominate on the ground with ground and pound, maybe work her way into a submission or grind Natalia to a decision. I think Tracy Cortez gets absolutely decimated and punished. Amanda Ribas gets chinned, gets banged up. Vivi Araujo gets beat up in that fight. Macy Barber can make it interesting because she is big. She also has power. She's evolving with her wrestling skills. She's also dangerous in the clinch. But I just think Zhang Weili is so much better than her on a skill level. And I think based off her skills alone, she would just be too superior to Macy Barber. And Macy just wouldn't be able to get off much against her. So I got Weili in that fight. Lauren Murphy, not even a question. Jessica Andrade, I think the same thing happens again. I do think it would go a little bit longer this time. I think Andrade would respect the power of Zhang, but it doesn't matter. Even if she's patient, I've always said I've always said this. Like Weili's still gonna pick her apart. Like Weili is still better than her. She's still a better striker. She's more technical. She's faster. And anytime they still do inevitably get in those like wild exchanges, Weili is always going to get the better of it because she's got the power to go up against Andrade and make her pay for her reckless abandonment. So I think Weili wins that fight this time by like a late, I'm going to say a late finish this time. Probably like maybe the third round, late second round, maybe. Kaylin Chukagan gets smoked. Manon Firo. Now that is actually a good fight. Manon would definitely give her problems on the feet. Um, Honestly, I'm gonna go with Zhang Weili to win that fight. So I think Weili, I think Weili would win. I think. I don't know why. I don't have like a specific breakdown. I just think Zhang wins. Aaron Blanchfield. I got Aaron winning that fight actually because Aaron Blanchfield, she's got that toughness, and they're gonna fight in a 5-round setting. And I think Aaron will just smother Zhang Weili with pressure. I think initially Aaron will get hit. She will take her shots, but she's going to impose that wrestling, and she's just going to absolutely smother Weili, force her to defend constant takedowns, and I think that alone will gas Weili out. And I think in the late rounds, Aaron like gets a finish. Valentina Shevchenko. Okay, now that one is actually a tough fight to call. Because even though Shevchenko or Weili does have the wrestling, she's not like Grasso in the sense where she has the boxing to give Valentina problems. Like I think on the feet, Valentina would outstrike her, and Weili does get hit a lot. So honestly, I'm gonna go with Valentina Shevchenko to win that fight. Like Weili could get like a couple of takedowns, but Valentina would be able to like avoid damage on the ground, not let Weili like full mount her, get her in any kind of dire fight ending positions. She'd get back up and she'd win a majority of the fight just through striking, and I think wins like a decision against Zhang. But it's a tough fight. Alexa Grasso, the champion, and this is my favorite fighter too. But Grasso has shown takedown defense really isn't her strong suit. So Weili could win just through wrestling alone, but Grasso is such a tough, resilient fighter, and she knows how to last within the fight and adapt as the fight goes on, like she did against Valentina. So I can see Zhang Weili just going out there and, having a Zhang Weili like performance, but I feel like Grasso would be too tough and resilient to get finished, whether it be on the feet or on the ground. And I think Grasso could potentially keep this a striking match. I do think she would give up a lot of takedowns like Rose did, but she'd also be able to get up from a lot of takedowns. And I think she would tee off on Weili and outbox her. I'm going to say Alexa Grasso wins that fight by a close decision. So I think that Weili Zhang beats pretty much a good majority of the flyweights. I just think the only flyweight she doesn't beat are Erin, Valentina, and Grasso. That's it. But I think she handles the rest of them. But Weili does have potential to be champ. Like I do not doubt that she could be champ. She could find a way to beat Erin. She could find a way to beat Valentina. She could definitely beat Grasso. I think Grasso, of the three who I think beats her, she has the best chance to beat Grasso. And if that's who she fights when she challenges for that second belt, she just might be double champ. That potential to be double champ is there. It's just not like a guarantee.